Some of you play video games, right? You play online games and you're just always in the game. You're drowned in the game. You're doing hold in the game. Somebody's into cars. They're always talking about cars. They're always thinking about cars. The background on their phone, the wallpaper is a car, right? They're always watching videos on cars. They're always, looking at updates on. This person is doing hold in cars. You see, hold actually means when people are drowned. A good word to understand this nowadays is when people are addicted to something. When they're addicted to something. And this is really interesting because there's even books on this. You should look up a book called The Age of Addiction. This age we live in now, before this age, people used to talk about alcohol addiction, right? Gambling can become an addiction. People that go to gambling, they don't just go once. They go back, they go back, they go back. They lose their house, they lose family, and they can't stop. Drugs can become an addiction. And many of you might already know the social media giants of the world, like Facebook, Instagram, these companies, they went to the top casinos in the world when they were first developing their behavior, because their apps have algorithms to make sure that the users that they have stay on the app. So they don't just want you to turn TikTok on and then turn it off. They want you to turn it on and then swipe again and then swipe again. So they had to study behavior, right? So they actually went to the casino industry and they got the best psychologists, because the casino industry first hired psychologists to make sure that when people sit on that slot machine to get the money out, how do we keep them there? How do we keep them there as long as possible so they can stay more addicted? The same people who engineered the behavior in the casinos and the gambling industry in Las Vegas were some of the same engineers that modeled the behavior for, social media apps. They were hired by Silicon Valley to do that. Why? Because they know they can get the most out of you if you're the most addicted. If you are in hold, if you're drowned in, you can't get out. And if you don't do it again, you feel something missing inside you. Somebody who's addicted to alcohol, they drink, they feel like they're done. They go 1 hour, 2 hours later, I gotta have it again. I gotta do it again. Give me another one. Their stomach is hurting, they're still drinking. They're in pain, they're still drinking. They're half asleep, they're still drinking. They wake up, they need a drink immediately. It's the same way with these kinds of other addictions. The addictions that are online, the addiction to entertainment. Some people are addicted to, movies, Netflix. Some people are addicted to sports. But these addictions are now the next thing Allah is talking about. When the truth comes, which is what the Quran is actually talking about, you have to deal with reality. You have to take responsibility for your actions. I have to take care of how am I going to spend my day? How am I going to spend my night? I have responsibility to myself. I have a responsibility to Allah. I have a responsibility to my family. I have to take care of all of these things. But if you don't want to accept that truth and you want to escape reality, you can go find yourself lost in one addiction or the other. And you can go inside of a khawd. Even to the point where, what some people do? If they hear a little bit of, you're at a gathering, because Eid, a lot of people had Eid gatherings. They got together, family got together, they're sitting and talking. And somebody brought something up about Allah's deen. And you'll notice some people in the family, immediately they change the subject and they want to hold in a different subject immediately. And they want to talk about it. And they're, oh, no, what about that UFC fight? What about this game? What about this movie? Oh my God, that was amazing. And they want to keep talking about it. And if they do talk about the deen, they talk about the deen as a joke. It's like it's something funny to talk about, And even then, Allah even describes, حَتَّى يَفُوضُوا فِي حَدِيثٍ غَيْرِهِ. Don't talk to them when they're talking about your deen until they go and start diving into some other subject. They want to get immersed in this and this and this. Now, you and I have to ask ourselves, this is not a criticism of humanity. It's just you and me have to think about ourselves. Whatever I'm diving into every day, does it have a purpose or is it just me playing around? That's the real question I have to ask myself.